Hey guys, it's Eric here with Sacred Forge Healing here for a 2-week reading. It's supposed to be for the week of May 18th, but they're saying this is actually going all the way until the end of May from this point forward. So welcome in. We're gonna get through this energy. I don't know if you guys have been feeling this, but the past 2 weeks have been very integrational, if that is a word right there, where it feels like we're all really kind of hitting our stuff. Our stuff is being popped up everywhere. And there's different ways to deal with this. For some of us, it has been, I'm going to deal with it. It's coming up. I want to move the energy, feel it, and let it go. And sometimes, there are some of us who do just want to kind of push it down. So, welcome here into this space. We're going to see what our energy has for us moving forward this month of May. So, the month of May, as it continues up until the end, we do have some really nice energies kind of being shown here. So, one of the big ones is going to be connecting more with our heart. So it can be, just listening to your heartbeat and feeling it, realizing that yes, you're in a body. For some of us, that is going to be very important as we go through a time where we want to escape the body as much as possible. Remember, there's this life essence that's beating inside of us. And we're also learning how to trust it and go within. And that seems to be a big thing here. As we connect with our heart, there's going to be a lot of expansion. So that kind of is jumping the gun into some other cards that we do have here. But our first card here is Luminescence. It's this heart energy that is just bursting to get out, allowing us to connect with that heart and allow us to basically expand with every beat of our heart, of who we are, to expand into more of that authenticity and saying, I know I can connect with my heart. I know exactly what my heart is trying to tell me. Now, it feels like there's some lessons to learn around that specific topic. And for a lot of us, we're going to see what we're really surrendering into, or surrendering to get more into the state of heart coherence. Oh. This is beautiful, honestly. So they're really... I'm feeling this for myself right now too. So coming into this pathway where we are, yes, getting into our authenticity for who we are and allowing ourselves to be that light, to be that pulsing light that spreads wherever we go. For a lot of us right now, what they're actually saying that it's just time. We have divine timing here. So sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust that the universal flow. And then we have surrender to your soul's path. So there are quite a few of you. They're saying specifically 3 of you that will be feeling this to a umpteenth, like very, very high level, where you're really stepping into your path as you're going forward. So it says your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So congratulations. I feel like this is also very much for myself too, as I feel like I'm stepping more into it. And I'll be showing a little bit more of what I've been up to these past 2 weeks, moving forward. Probably will not be happening this week, but moving forward, I'll be showing a little bit more of what's going on. But there's some beautiful, beautiful energy as we're connecting with that pulse, that beat, that life force energy that's coming through us. And that is another big thing that is going to be very much integral to this. So we do have life force energy. There's many different forms of this. This is all love, though. This is all love. And so this feels to be an embracement. Again, they're coming up with some very interesting interesting words here today. But this seems to be very much embracing that love that comes and flows through us. Again, this is starting from the heart as we connect and we grow with it, as we feel the pulse of that coming from within, then we're able to cultivate that even more and be more conscious of all that love and all that energy that's flowing through with us. So this can also show up as a very, very healing week for some of you. And from there seems to be some of you. This is feeling that gets very expansive and who's being talked to at the moment, where there are some of you that are working with Reiki and different forms of life force energy. It's going to be important to up that practice as you're moving forward. So say take maybe 30 minutes each week to really spend on yourself as you go through your chakra system, as you go through the places that need the most help. You remember that you can talk to your body and get the information for exactly where you need to work on. Trust yourself. This is also something that has been coming up really big. Trust yourself as you're going through this. Trust what's coming through you, right? Pay attention to how it feels, right? If it feels very, very expansive, maybe slightly scary, then that's okay. But if it feels like it's something that is monumental and feels like it's very, very scary and you're very anxious about what's going on, stop and reevaluate, okay? So, as we're moving forward, I'm going to be talking about these cards in quick succession. So, we have Sacral Chakra. Right here, it says the core of creation, which that is connected with that Sacral Chakra. With this, we're going to be working on connecting more and more with that creative center, that creative source. And it really feels like it's all coming back into the heart. That's where it feels like it's very, very expansive in that this week as we work and connect with that core of creation and that heart essence, that we're going to be able to create some very beautiful things. Now, for some of you, this is going to be very physical in nature, working with your hands and crafting. There feels like there's a specific thing of like working with some solids, like some wood, some stone. And it feels like also working with the body and like working in this way of maybe massaging in a new way. There feels like there is some expansive information that's wanting to come through us that can also be very healing in that same nature. For one of you, I know exactly who this is, and I will be contacting you about this, but this does feel like some expansion in what we are doing currently and also growing and doing more of. So for our next two cards, we actually have some polarities. We have opposites. So we have fire and water. Typically, we think of these as opposites in nature. We have an active doing versus an intuitional receiving kind of showing up here. So we have Solaris Sublime here, and then we have the Overflow. So putting these two together, we have a lot of abilities to basically receive and also do that very receiving and actional based thing right here. So as you're kind of moving forward, we're going to be connecting with both of these energies, right? When I think of fire, it's very, very, yes, action based, but also very, very passionate. Fiery people typically, yes, they can want the center of attention at times. But they're very passionate in what they do. They have a fire that comes from within. And that's actually what we're finding a bit more this week, is that fire from within to really be able to do and connect with all that's coming through us. Now, I feel like there's some important information that needs to come through for this card. Some important information indeed. So we have surrender to effortlessness. So yes, there's going to be very much more action-based things that are going to start popping up and manifesting for the week of when you see this. But it's also not going to be, I'm going to sit here and force things to come out, right? It's action in a balanced way of like, you know, this is wanting to come through me. I'm going to allow it to come out. I'm going to follow that passion that's leading me and driving me there. And it's not going to be something that I have to sit and force, right? If it feels very natural, flow with it. And that's also where we have our water card here. So we have two other cards here, and I feel like they're very, very important. there's an interesting word that wanted to come through. We're going to do a little bit of light language at the end to clear everything out as we're connecting more with this love space as well. So we have surrender surrender comparisons with other people. I know this can be something that's very difficult, right? It says, keep your eyes trained on yourself, focus on your own strength, attractiveness, and power, right? As we're moving into this state of effortlessness, as well as passion and driving force for what feels like we're being flowed towards. It's going to be important that we're not saying, oh, but this person's doing this and this person's already doing that, right? Remember, for everyone who's doing something, they're going to bring something new to the table. So what are you bringing as you're doing this? Remember, it's not about where everybody else is on their path. It's where you are. What's your path look like? Where are you going with it? And how can you embrace it and have more fun as you're doing it? Okay. And so this one can also be very much connected to our water card, but we have surrender to your intuition. Follow what comes. Follow what's coming through you, okay? And that's going to be very important. It says, tune in to your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. You know, allow yourself to see what's coming through. And there's that aspect of seeing as well when we're comparing to other people, right? Are you just looking at them and like, gosh, I wish I was them, right? Yeah, that can be a thing, but it doesn't really sound like a whole lot of fun now, does it? And it can be easier said than done. I understand that. But, you know, as we're moving more into the space of the heart, as we're moving more into the space of the healing and the creational energy, there's going to be a lot of synchronistic moments for you as you're really moving into this energy this week, right? And that is also something that we have to make sure we're being mindful of. So making sure we're going with that flow, that effortlessness. And I want to pull one card here for the water, as well as water is very much connected to, you know, going with that flow, going with the intuition, feeling your emotions. And interestingly enough, the aspect of water, I think what they're saying here is as you connect with that aspect of water to receive, you have to go into a state of non-action. So this can also be meditation. This can be sitting back and taking that rest that you need. So it says, now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. So if you're really wanting to make things happen this week, surrender into that effortlessness of what you're trying to bring forward, okay? That's going to be a very, very important part for this. You know, go forward with passion and action, but only when it feels right. They're giving a little bit of contradictory feeling here, but it seems like this is kind of like a blueprint for what they're doing and how to connect more with spirit, with source, as we're connecting more with this this energy that's here. I'm very curious to see how all this will be playing out this week, truth be told. There's also like a feeling of like being the unicorn, I have to say. You know, when you're the unicorn, you're the oddity in the family. Family is the first word that came to mind there, which is very, very interesting. So for some of you, it's kind of the realization of that black sheep mentality or the unicorn, where it's like, okay, I can't do anything with them, so I'm just going to step back. I don't have to do it. And it's kind of like allowing that weight to fall off your shoulders as well for some of you. So we're going to be moving into kind of our last two cards before we get into some light language clearing. So we have radical expansion, and then we have the crown chakra, the unlimited self. Okay, so these are very, 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 very important energies as we're moving forward, as we're growing and connecting with our heart. We're going to be connecting more with the energy that exists around us and also allowing ourselves to expand into something that we haven't been before. They're wanting me to correct this. So not everybody has been there. They're saying that, yes. But for some of us, it's going to be that remembrance and allowing ourselves to expand back out into that state. And for a lot of us, truly, that's where it's going to be. Now, for some of you, there does feel like there's some younger souls, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is just something to be mindful of. Remember, younger souls do not mean bad souls. We're all on our learning journey. And as you're working through the energy of this week, right, we're going to allow ourselves to expand into something that's new and that's different, that we haven't experienced before. So, welcome to the week of May 18th. So, I want to do a little bit of light language clearing. We're going to incorporate a few things that I have here. We'll see how many things we'll be using. But I do want to kind of get us started here with a singing bell or a singing bowl. More like a bell, truth be told. So if you can go ahead, if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're in a space where you can, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And I want you to place your hand upon your heart and just start to listen. Listen to the beat. Listening to the beat of your heart. Now, how does that feel within your body? So as we're going through this, I ask that you just keep an open mind as this energy and this information and healing will be coming through for you. If you wish to accept, we do ask that you consciously accept it. Say, I wish to connect with the energy that is for my best and highest good this week. Io no kosiale lebra in kiano kumbare kiana kosiale ka kuno kundo shede tati uno dom. Io koshala kiana kuno kundare ka shano kum. Io ma brea in kano shono kumbare ka khata ushale kata ina. Ia tato shale kiana kumbare ka tesho to ho kumbare ka shatiano kuna kiata shina. So as you're moving forward this week, just take a few deep breaths, kind of coming back out of it. But pay attention to where your heart is. Where's your heart in what you're doing? Feeling just the beat of it. How does it want to show up for you this week? And you can always come back to these messages, to the light language that's there for you to help you connect more with that energy. Now, for some of you, that energy will feel very, very familiar. And it is very, very clearing is what it's meant for. For some of you, it's an energetic download for you to upgrade your energetic blueprint. And so it functions as multiple things, as energy is very multidimensional. So if you feel called to come back to it, please do. I'll be posting more light language and things moving forward. But there's a lot of beautiful things happening here, and I look forward to sharing that with you guys. So leave your comments in the comment section below, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.